My goodness me.
I was hideously out of time, I think, in that, but I shall overlook that.
We shall, yeah, we'll mark you on that later on. Hello, handsome. An amazing night on Saturday. Did you enjoy
Wasn't
yourself?
it? I absolutely loved it. The atmosphere was electric, 6,000 screaming and booing people. It was absolutely brilliant.
Are you sad to see Richard and Erin go? He's been such a joy, hasn't he?
He has been such a laugh.
Yeah.
For morale backstage, he has been absolutely sublime. He has been the best sportsman, I think, ever.
And he really improved. He did improve as well.
And he enjoyed it, and that shows.
Well, let's talk about Nikki and Karen, first of all, and their jive. Back to a 6 from you again, Grumpy. Yet you did vote to save them. Why did they deserve to stay?
They deserve to stay because of the energy and, as everyone else suggested, the content. There was a lot of steps in there. I mean, I couldn't give him a higher score because of technique, really, because it was meant to be a jive. It wasn't a rock and roll dance, as Len suggested, you know, but it is in a rock and roll style. But then if you are going to do rock and roll, then it is very, very different because that goes more into swing. So it was meant to be a jive, and in the jive you do expect a pointed foot and a retraction.
You were talking about the retractions of coming back. Yeah. OK, Denise and James and their Charleston, you said it was the best ever Charleston on Strictly Come Dancing. What impressed you the most about this?
Well, what I loved about it was the amount of steps they did, the fact that they included some really difficult ones like the birdie flap, which I adore.
What's a birdie flap?
It's when your arms come up like this, and then you slam the foot down, but the foot goes with the flat foot, so it's meant to be quirky. It's not meant to be taken on the toe or anything like that. The only thing I can say about that, and probably the reason I didn't give it 10 was it was a little bit slick, and I know that sounds odd.
Hang on.
But but in the Charleston, one has to have a limp wrist, you know, and it's just very odd when it's done with a you know, a straight wrist.
God, you see, Chris Hollins, you gave him a 10, but you're saying this is better. So he had did he have a limp wrist?
But so it's all comparative, isn't it? I mean, that year that Chris Hollins won, you know, the dancing wasn't up to much.
Oh, you cheeky one!
It's true,
but
though.
You gave him a 10.
But this year,
you gave him a 10, though.
In the end.
Under duress.
Under duress. Well, he did buy me a pint, so I thought.
Oh, bless him. Let's talk about Kimberly and Pasha. I feel I may never win this one. Kimberly and Pasha and their samba. You loved what you said was, I quote, challenging rhythms that crossed the music.
Yeah.
Confused face. Explain more.
Oh, it's because the rhythm have to cross the music. They're not always strictly in time.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a dead, steady beat. You know, you're doing a 1, a 2, a 1, a 2. You know, you have to cross rhythms, and then you might go into a slow, quick, slow in that respect.
And she did that well.
She was brilliant. I really love her dancing. She's fantastic, and it is such a difficult dance.
And do you think that will keep her at the bottom too? Now?
I hope so, but you can only, you know, thank the public for doing all of that.
I know they'll vote for their favourites. Lewis and Flavia and their American Smooth. Now the other judges weren't blown away by this. You did call it refreshing, though. What did you like about it?
Well, normally we see a Fred and Ginge Smooth, and that's what we expect as judges to see. You know, some long, luscious, delicious lines. You want to see lots of side-by-side, but of course he puts stuff that he's good at in.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't mind that. And plus the music wasn't exactly Fred and Ginge anyway, so I think she was absolutely right to go for a quick step and try and break it up a little bit in that way. OK, we discussed half of them. You'll have to come back in a minute. We didn't want you to feel left out, so we're escorting you off the sofa with Jonathan Whelan again. Oh, darling. I've got a number for him.
Oh, have you? Oh, finally! Finally it comes out.
Come on, darling.
Cheeky.
Gorgeous.
I tell you. Anyone would have thought we'd planned that. On Saturday night, Michael